all these days out here and I can't find a single Bronco. It's like they're hiding from me or something like that. If I could have just one wish, it would be to finally get one in my own hands. Not Ford letting me see one, not me being able to not drive one. I just want a Bronco all to myself, and I just can't seem to find them at all. Just one wish, that I could have one Bronco. Oh, and then it would all be okay.
I will grant you one wish.
You'll grant me one wish? Well, then I wish to have a Bronco all to myself. Alrighty guys, so after waiting like 4 months to review this, and it's been probably about 2.5 months since the original video of the Ford Bronco that I uploaded, which actually did pretty well, so thank you for that. I actually today get to have my hands on a Ford Bronco, and thankfully this one has the Sasquatch package because I've had a hell of a time finding one that has the Sasquatch package on it. But here we go, and gratefully this one is a loaner vehicle, which means we will be able to do tons of things with this vehicle, including taking it to the dry lake bed to do some really cool shots with it. But I'm going to be reviewing it today and showing you all around the Bronco and everything there is. This is the Big Bend trim level. Like I said, it has the Sasquatch package. Ford has been having issues getting out the Broncos that are spec'd with the hard top. So this one does have the soft top, and it's like halfway off, and because I didn't want to take it all the way off. But this one has the soft top on it. Gonna be going over that as well, and showing you around this pretty cool car that Ford just released. So let's get right into it. Alrighty, starting on the exterior of the Ford Bronco Big Bend, I want to start on the front. It's been optioned with the signature LED headlights. Basically, they're all LED, no matter what you get. But this one has this cool little bar that goes through the middle of them, which gives it a nicer look, I guess. And this also has the heavy-duty modular front bumper that you can attach stuff to, and then you got these two tow hooks up front. This car is finished in carbonized gray. I ordered one and I got it in cactus gray, which we've seen a couple of cactus gray, and I've seen one with Area 51. I think cactus gray still looks the best for this car. It's light enough where it's not going to show tons of scratches. This one may be dark enough that you might see some scratches, and if you get dirt on it, you're going to see dirt a little easier. So if you're concerned about how your car looks, then maybe go for a brighter color. These are 35-inch tires. They're not the biggest I've ever seen on a Bronco. I actually saw one a couple weeks ago that had 37s on them, and these are 17-inch rims. These tires and rims, this whole thing right here, is part of the Sasquatch package, which comes with the tire and rim upgrade, comes with higher ground clearance, different suspension, these wider fender flares that go over the tires because of how big they are, and a bunch of other things I'm going to be going over. The side tube step right here, also an option on the Big Bend level. If you go one trim level up, that becomes standard, but for the Big Bend, that is optional. And moving on to the back, you get a massive spare tire on the back, full size, so you're not running on a regular, just crappy little rim and tire. You are running on a full thing, so you're not losing any kind of speed. And this has also been optioned with the LED light package, like I said up front, and that means you also get these LED taillights. In the back, there have been some accessories added to this. You get this, one of the accessories is this little table. You just flip these up and unclip these little hooks, and it folds down. You get a little table to work on. This is an accessory. This doesn't come with the Bronco. Another accessory in here is also this drawer that has a bunch of little compartments in it. It takes up a decent amount of the cargo space though, so if you're planning on putting bigger items back here, maybe having this drawer accessory isn't for you, but don't worry, it doesn't come with this. You're not wasting any money. But overall, the cargo space back here is pretty decent. It's not like you're going to be able to fit like a bookcase back here, but groceries or if you're going camping, stuff like that will definitely fit back here. And I don't think I've ever said this or been in the situation where I have to say this, but I kind of like the fold out look of this. It gives it more of an off-roady, more rugged look. This also comes with the towing package, which this can tow 3,500 pounds, which doesn't seem like a bunch, but it is set up for off-roading. It's not set up for towing. Plus, this thing itself is around 5,400 pounds, so it is already pretty heavy. But let's go ahead and open up and see what's under the hood. All right, when we open up the hood, like I said, we have the 2.7 liter twin turbo EcoBoost V6. Hot. Okay, perfect. So, with premium fuel, 330 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque. With regular fuel, 315 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. So, you get different power numbers based on what fuel you use. That's for most vehicles out there in the world. But what's crazy to me is that Ford didn't actually put any effort in to making this engine look pretty. There's no engine covers or anything. It's all pretty accessible if you needed to change your coil packs or spark plugs. They're right there for you to get into. So I guess there's a positive and benefit to that. Your negative is that, you don't get a pretty engine bay. But your positive is that you get to work on your engine without having to remove a bunch of plastic crap. All right, let's move on to the interior. Ooh, okay. Alrighty, so it's beating down and it's hot in here because I have the top off. Maybe I should have thought through this. Anyways, so this has the mid package on it, which includes a bunch of cool things. Now, as standard, and this is throughout the whole Big Bend trim level, you get the half digital gauge cluster. It's a pretty big screen. The only analog thing in the gauge cluster is actually the speedometer. It doesn't look bad. It's not like it had to be digital for me to like it. It looks fine. You also get this 8-inch screen running Sync 4. Finally, we have another vehicle other than the Mach-E and the F-150 running Sync 4. Let's go ahead and start it up. Another cool little tidbit here is that the engine start-stop button actually sort of looks like the headlights up front. Pretty interesting. With the mid-package, you also get dual-zone climate control, heated seats, a bunch of other cool stuff like that, lane keeping assist, plenty of things. This one, since you got the 2.7 liter V6, this has the 10-speed automatic transmission, which is nice. There's also a 7-speed manual as an option, but it's not that. The manual's good. I've been in it before. You rode through the gears a little bit, felt the clutch. Pretty good feeling, but the 10-speed auto, if you want ease of use, 10-speed auto is the way to go. You also have your transfer case modes down here, 4-wheel low, 4-wheel high, 2-wheel high, and 4-wheel automatic. And then you have a trail control button right here. Well, trail control is basically like cruise control for off-roading. You built for low speeds, everything like that, so you don't have to burn out your cruise control going super low. Most cruise controls, regular cruise controls, will stop operating around 35 miles an hour. You also have your GOAT modes, which is basically a bunch of off-road modes, and sport mode, which you get this cool little graphic in the gauge cluster. You have your normal mode, eco mode, sport mode. This has slippery, and for the off-road ones, you have mud and ruts, and then you have sand. Now, depending on what mode you go in, since this has front and rear locking differentials, it will do or activate some of those features. Like I'm in sand right now, locks the rear differential. The higher you go up on the trim levels, the more GOAT modes you have. This one, since this is the Big Bend, you do get 6 of them. I'm gonna put it back over into normal mode. You also, this one's been optioned with the 6 auxiliary switches up here. Now this one has been also optioned with the center console vault, which is pretty cool actually. But the thing is let's say you're in a rush to get into your center console. This one doesn't have a code on it right now, but you're gonna open it up and you're just gonna get this big metal container right here. You're gonna need to punch the code in to unlock it, and then it just pops up like that. It does take up a little... What? It does take up a little bit of room, but not much. And then as for your glove box down there, it's a pretty decent size. Now, for comfort in the seats, the leather seats in this vehicle are actually super comfortable. The cloth seats are fine, but I know the leather seats are a little more comfortable. Now, one thing that does bother me is going to be where the handles are, the handle placement. I'm a little surprised they're not here or here, kind of like how they would be in like an F-150. Another interesting thing, since the doors are removable, we don't have the bags to remove the doors, so we're not going to remove the doors, but all you have to do to remove the doors is disconnect an electrical connection and lift up. Your window controls and everything are here in the center. They are all around. All 4 windows are automatic up and down, which is nice. And then you have your mirror controls for your side mirrors down here as well. Pretty easy. I mean, it may take some getting used to reach down here instead of onto the door panel to lower and raise your mirrors, but that's fine. And as for more storage space up here, you do have these nets right here that feel super durable. You're not going to have those getting broken on the road or anything like that. And extra durability, I guess. Let's go ahead and move on to the back. Oy. Alrighty, moving on to the back of the Bronco. The seat is where I would sit for driving this vehicle. And you get about 6 inches of legroom back here. Headroom, I guess since the soft top is on right here, plenty of headroom, a good 6 inches of headroom as well. And like I said, you get automatic windows all the way around. Now, one thing that I've seen a lot of people complain about when it comes to the Bronco is the fact that there's actually no vents back here. Now, plenty of vents up front. You get 4 up front, but one thing I did notice is that the insulation when it comes to getting a soft top, it's not really that great. So not having vents back here, your rear passengers might get a little hot or a little cold depending on the climate, especially if you're in the American Southwest in the summer or you're up in the Northwest or the Northeast for the winter. You get a little hot and cold. On top of that, you do have a USB Type A and a USB Type C port, and then a 400 watt wall house style outlet down there. And you get a bunch of backseat pocket storage space as well. This one, if you go up higher on the trims, you do get a center little armrest for you and your passenger back here, but this one does not have it. And of course, these are a 40-60 split for the seats when you want to fold them down. You can fold them down and fit larger items in here. All right, so driving the Ford Bronco. Now, what sucks is we're not taking it off-road today. That whole part of the video will be here soon. Don't worry about that. We will be getting to go off-road on this thing and doing some really cool things with it, but that's not today. This is just going to be like kind of like a road driving review. Now, surprisingly, the steering's okay. I mean, it's not sporty and it's not super loose, so it's fine. Acceleration on this thing is actually pretty surprising. If I told you this weighs nearly as much as an F-150, you probably wouldn't believe me, but it does. It's a really heavy SUV. I mean, it's steel frame, body on frame, basically truck at this point. But it is nice. Acceleration's good. And the 2.7's acceleration in the F-150 is good. Now, braking, that's fine. You're not going to have any issues with your brakes or anything like that. Driving position's really good. Visibility out of this car is impeccably well. It's plenty of visibility. The windshield is very high raked. The only concern I'd have with that is if a rock came up. Usually the windshields that are very straight up tend to break very easily, but it's got that little bit of a curve in the front, so maybe the rocks will just get deflected off of it. That's the only concern I'd have. Now, road noise. Oh, with the soft top, it's awful. You can hear everything. But if you got a soft top, you should expect that. If you wanted the hard top and got the sound deadening headliner, probably a little better off. But if you got the soft top and were expecting no road noise at all, then you are mistaken. You're going to get some road noise. Around corners, you do get some body roll, but it's not terrible. It doesn't make the car undrivable on the highway. Now, what I noticed is that above about speeds about 75, above that, since you do have, it just feels like the car starts to rattle a little bit. You get a little bit of vibration from the roads since the tires aren't built to go super fast. You get a lot of vibrations in the vehicle from about 75 miles an hour and up. So don't expect to take this to the speedway and see what you can get out of it when it comes to times. You're gonna have a really rough time doing that. But yeah, I like how it drives. If you're looking for something commanding and versatile and something that'll fit in your garage, the Bronco would be a great option. You get plenty of information in your digital gauge cluster, and with the built-in navigation into the system, if you don't have your phone connected, plenty of information can come out of that center screen with Sync 4. It's pretty good. And another thing I forgot to mention, let's say you want to put a GoPro up here to kind of show the world what you're doing. If you want to upload on something on YouTube, there's actually a GoPro mount believe right here there's a GoPro mount that you can plug in a GoPro to and face the GoPro out or in if that's what you want to do. So yeah, you have those kind of cute little things. Another thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about the interior is on the gear lever down here, there's an actual American flag and a Bronco thing on here. And on the exterior under the gas cap, the gas lid, you get the Broncos from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. It's interesting. And now the Mustang has another little horse friend. So, good. So that's the new 2021 Ford Bronco Big Bend with the Sasquatch package. After finally getting to drive one and poke and prod at all the features, I can genuinely say I like the vehicle. This specific vehicle will be seen on the channel much more since it's a loaner, so stay tuned for more content with the Bronco. And to make sure you don't miss those upcoming videos, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you know when we post a new video. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button down below, and I will see you all in the next one.